Hey, Tony Jackson here. Video for the fellas today. My wife, she didn't seen this, so I had a company come in and do this after she left to take the boys to school. And I've been ordering her stuff, a few of her gifts right here. I've been ordering her stuff since the top of the year because for me, one thing it is about love that I realized, and here's a few of the roses they did. So it's a company that they did this, and this also a small business idea. It's a mom and daughter. They took care of everything, and they brought what is this? Candles and stuff, Godiva chocolates. Brought these here, and they'll have other vendors make that stuff for them. And so everything for this right here, them setting it up and all the stuff, I paid $1,320. And I'll be honest with you, that's a lot of money to spend. But and so if it's not in the budget, then you don't have to do that. You can spend some $130 that might just be roses and your handwritten card or what have you. But I've been giving my wife stuff since January. And it's one thing that I want to share with the men who on my channel. It's only about 5 of you. But one thing about this right here, that it has changed my life. Because some guys try to call it, oh, you're a simp, and soft. And some guys think it's a beta male. They don't understand what none of that stuff mean. They just throwing words out there. And it has changed my life because it sent me into a place of selflessness. It sent me into a place of gratitude. So when I'm thinking of my wife and I'm thinking of how I can be a blessing to her, and with everything I spend on her, sometimes it may be 20-30%. It may be 20-30% of my income that month, So that's like so what that means for those who are not good with percentages, that means if I make $1,000, I may spend $300 or sometimes more on her on average. At the least, if I make 1,000 that week, then I'll spend 100 on her. But it's just including her in my thought process, in my life, and just thinking about her to show her that I love her, and in whatever means that I have. Because see, sometimes all I have is quality time. Sometimes I don't have time, and it's hard to make that time if I'm working or I have to travel. So when I can't speak the love language of quality time, then I may speak it in words of affirmation, or I may speak it in gifts, and it's kind of like gifts, but it's kind of like thoughtfulness. And I think a lot of times as men, we don't think about that because we get so caught up in our day-to-day life. And no matter what level you at financially, it's not about doing what I did and hiring a company to come in. It ain't about that. It's like wherever you are financially. When I wasn't, when I couldn't afford to do something like that, that's once a year type thing right there. When I couldn't afford to do something like that, I literally would go to Target and just do a Target haul. Or I would go to CVS or Walgreens, the drugstore, and do a haul in there. And I get the word haul from the beauty blogs that my wife be watching. But I would go to CVS and I would get the foot tub for $20. I would get the little foot scrubber, get the little soft little socks, get the lotion for the feet, get a nail clipper, get a eyelash clamper, get a face wash, and I would spend $150 getting all this stuff that kind of could pamper. And then I would come home and I would put the hot water in the foot tub, turn it on, it's bubbling. I would lift her foot up, scrub her feet, then I would, dry her feet, and then I lotion her feet, massage her feet. And I do that because that's all I could afford is that $150. But then that act of service. I got on Amazon and I ordered a massage table. I'm not a masseuse or whatever you call that. I'm gonna look it up because I can't remember what I paid for it. I ordered a massage table. This is about what I got right here. $115. $115, you can afford that. I got the massage table right now. I can show it to you. You think I'm lying? It's in my room, but my plumber's in there putting a new vanity in our bathroom. And $115. This 4.5 stars Solanature professional portable folding massage table with carrying case. That's exactly what I got. $115. And I set that up in my room. And I cut on the TV. And I put on the Soundscapes channel. On your cable, you go up into like the 400 channels. They got music channels. The music choice. I go to Soundscapes. And it'll be playing that little music. And I cut the lights out. I take the diffuser. The diffuser is like $20. Put the little essential oil in there. Turn that on. And so the little oil coming up. the little smoke coming out the diffuser. And I got one here right here in my bathroom. And my wife, she be having these got one in my bathroom here. See this right here? See that little thing right there? Little diffuser. And that diffuser, it $30, $20, $30. Put the little essential oil in there and let that go on, that aroma hit that out. And then I got a massage oil. Oh yeah. Tom Brady autograph helmet. What you want to get? $8 grand. $8 grand I get to you. Autograph. I take credit cards. $8 grand I get to you. I don't care nothing about no memorabilia now. I don't don't worship man. I worship God. So, hey, the right price, you get it off of him. It's going to be worth something now. I got another one coming. Yeah, don't worry about it. And I get on in there and I get that massage. And what I did is, my wife, I hurt my back. I fell off a skateboard trying to be a dad. I was playing on the skateboard in our old other house. And that skateboard, I call myself trying to do a little ollie, whatever they call it. And I'm just playing around like I'm an old skate park, like I'm Tony Hawk. And that skateboard come from up under me. That skateboard flew from up under me. And I went in the air. I'm in the air. I'm going up like the Matrix. I'm all in the air. And I'm coming down. I was high in the air. I'm coming down. Boom. Hit the wood floor. Pinched sciatic nerve, herniated disc. That was 6-7 years ago. My back still hurt to this day. So I go to the chiropractor. And they got a massage that they'll do. I remember everything she did on that massage. And while she massaging me, it didn't hurt me, it felt good. But instead of me enjoying it, I was thinking about my wife. I was thinking about, how can let me remember these moves. So as she doing it, she taking that elbow, rubbing it up my back, everything she doing. She grabbed my arm, pull it, lay it on my right here, and then she massaging that thing back there. And so I'm paying attention to what she's doing. And then when I got my massage table, I came home, put a sheet on it, got it nice. It come with the little face mat, the little thing for the where you lay your head at. It got a little thing to catch the oil. And I took and gave my wife a massage and did all of that right there. And then her appointment was the next week at the chiropractor. And because her neck and stuff began crooks in it and stuff, she sleep wrong or whatever. And then posture, if she's slouching, her back start hurting. So she went to the thing and she got the massage. She came home. She said, okay, I was wondering where you got all them massage moves from. That lady did everything that you did on that massage you gave me not long ago. I said, now, girl, this is what I do. That woman copying me. I could show her a couple things. And so, and that massage, all right. And you go on the way you got to go after that massage. You feel me? But it's about pleasing her and pleasuring her and letting her know that she loved. Physical touch. Words of affirmation. She just got dressed to go out to lunch with her friend, her best friend from, elementary or middle school. They having a little lunch meeting. And speaking of, that's one thing is, her friend is a doctor, but now she's a stay-at-home mom like my wife. And my wife was in school to be a doctor, and that was her goal. And it's so interesting to me how a lot of her friends are like doctors. They grew up together, they want to be doctors, but then after a year or two, they stopped being doctors and wanted to be a full-time mom and wife. And it's always interesting to me, how women, just the balance and the nuances of life. And there's a lot of women I coach and they be like, yeah, I make $250,000, but I'm ready to sit down. Like, I have nothing against a man paying the bills and providing so I could be there full time for the kids. And then you see women who may not have that relationship and they got their kids, and sometimes we judge them when they stress and they frazzled. But it's like, if you don't got no help, and especially if you got a baby daddy that don't want to help and don't want to do nothing, like, that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. And that's why I always tell my wife, like, we can't ever compare, your parenting to another woman parenting if she don't have your situation. If she don't have your love and support, that's comparing apples to oranges. And that's what, as men, we got to understand too. It's like, if you got a woman, you got to keep her in a mental space, and you are responsible. It's so many men right now saying, yo, you ain't responsible for her happiness. You are responsible for her happiness. You can't make her happy, like make her choose. You can't do that, but you responsible for providing an environment and a space that if she unhappy, it ain't got nothing to do with you. It's because she choosing to be bitter. She choosing to be unhappy. But your energy and what you bring to the table is peaceful, is pure. And see, as men, we got to understand that in order to be a real man, you have to become the man to where you're not looking to be catered to, you looking to do the catering. To where you not looking because you the man, so your shoulders bigger than hers, your shoulders stronger than hers. So if you want to be the man and you want to be the head, you got to be ready and willing to carry the whole load. You got to be ready and willing to step up and man up and say, I got this. And then you let her reciprocate that love. You feel me? So I'm doing all this right here for my wife. I seen a package come in from Victoria's Secret. I ain't order that. So what's in that package? Might be some reciprocation. You see what I'm saying? So I just lead in love, on worry about what she got me for Valentine's and what she doing for me, because in order to love her the way Christ loved the church, Christ just love us. He ain't waiting on us to show all kind of love and for us to cater to him. Christ blessing us. He there for us. He's showing up and showing out above and beyond, like the blessings and the peace and the favor that I have over my life is unmerited. You see what I mean? I didn't earn it. I ain't worked for it. It's not because of my works. It's because of Christ's love. So when I love my wife, it can't be because it can't be because of what she deserved. It ain't about, how good is she and what does she deserve from that. It ain't about that. I got to love her to the fullest extent of my capacity. Whatever capacity of love that I have, that's what I got to give. And although it may seem overboard, although it may look like too much, although it might be, listen, if I have the capacity to love on that level, that's how I have to love. I can't say, oh, I can afford $5,000 for a purse, but she ain't cook enough this month, I'm going to spend $500. No, if I can afford $5,000 on a purse, I'm going to spend $5,000 on a purse. If all I can afford is $50 on a purse, I'm going to spend $50 on a purse instead of spending $5 on a purse. If all I can afford is $5 on a bag, I'm going to spend $5 on a bag instead of spending 50 cents on a bag. You see what I'm saying? So I love to the fullest extent of my capacity, and I'm telling you, it has changed my life. Because it's one thing, like, I have gone broke loving my wife, like providing for my wife, like making sure my sons could go to the school that she wanted them to go to. And that school costs money. You hear me? But we stepped out on faith. We was on financial aid and couldn't even afford the financial aid. Now, I think it's $27,000 a year. When my son started going to that school, I was making $20,000 a year. You see what I'm saying? But because I say, listen, if this is the environment my wife wants my sons to be in, then, because I had them in the environment I wanted to be in. And we went out to eat one time, and my wife said something to my son, and he said, pew. When he did that right there, I said, all right. I said, you know what? Put him in the school. You say you want him to go to. Because he was in the school in the hood. Well, where the parents, a lot of parents not in the home because they either on drugs or they either in jail or they got to work 3 jobs. And it's like, you could be a good mom, but if you got to work 3 jobs, then guess what? YouTube and cable raising your kids or somebody else raising your kid. And that just might be your life at that time. But if I can afford to get into a different environment to where, you know, my son not getting cussed out by his classmates. And I remember I went to a school as a substitute teacher, and the first grade boys, they in there, F-U-M-F-A-U-O-P-A-N. Y'all know what P-A-N stand for. That down there word, A word as the booty, and N word as what the slave master used to call us. I'm like, this a first grader. You're P-A-N. I'm like, wow. So when my wife said, listen, I want to put my child in private school, I said, all right. I said, okay, I ain't trying to hear nothing about all this black militant talk about my son need to go to Frederick Douglass Elementary, because if people ain't raising their kids over there, I'm not finna let my son go to school and get bullied and beat up and cussed out. So I put him in a different area because he had tough skin, eczema, and it looked like his skin was coming off. If he was in a place where the kids he going to school with, parents are not active in the home and teaching them how to be good people, my son would have been suicidal by the age of 8. But when he went to a school to where the parents are making an investment and it's a sacrifice, then that means they active and they in the home. And it's people that go to the school that make $20,000 a year, but they say, I want my child in a smaller class. Instead of 40 kids, I want it to be 10 kids. And they come and they step out on faith, and them schools got financial aid, and that's what we did. And my wife wanted that though. I was like, man, he could go to public school, because I went to public school. So I ain't knocking public school if that's the place you in and there's no better schools and that's the district you in. I ain't knocking it. But if I see better for my wife, for my kids, and I can afford it, then I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And I can't apologize about that. And if God bless me and give me the means to get there, that's where I stretch my mind to. That's why I stretch my mind to. And the Bible say God will give us the desires of our heart. And that he'll clothe us like he do the lilies of the field and feed us like he do the flowers of the air. So I say, okay, that's the level I want to be on. I said, Lord, I want to be, taken care. I want my wife to have what she needs. And so I started thinking about that. And guess what? When I stretched my mind to there, I started to see, okay, well, how can I earn more? Okay, well, I got a gift to write. Let me write books. Okay, I got a gift to write. Let me ghostwrite books for other people. Okay, I learned how to publish a book. Let me help other people publish their book. Okay, I got some wisdom from God. Let me do one-on-one sessions. Okay, I got a few people that want some sessions. Let me do a group session. Okay, I learning how to talk. Let me do speaking engagements. Okay, I got a couple slogans. Let me do t-shirts. Okay, I got other people that need a coach and I'm booked up. Let me create my mentor.life. Okay, I got some stuff that I could teach, but I ain't got enough hours in the day to do one-on-ones. Let me create TonyGassisAcademy.com to where people can buy a course while I'm sleeping and they could go through the course at their own time. Speaking of, the day is the last day to get the YouTube for Beginners course for $97. TonyGassisAcademy.com. You're going to see how I create. You're going to see how I did that course from my phone. But that's going to give you an idea on what you could teach on your course. I'm about to do a course called How to Create an Online Course. So you'll be able to take that to do your course. And so here's the thing. I take, and my mind stretched because I say I got to provide for my wife. So I literally went from earning $20,000 a year to then earning $150,000 a year. And it kept climbing on up from there. And I married my wife at 23. It was 28 or 29 that I earned that $150,000 in a year. So it took me some years. But because I said I need to love her the way Christ loved the church and present her blemish and spot free, as Ephesians 5 says. And God blessing me, God done gave me a mind, he done gave me wisdom to get wealth. Let me use it. And so I saw other avenues. And I started sharing those avenues. I got homeboys that I talk to and I tell them, hey, you need to do an online course. Hey, you need to get on YouTube. Share your message on YouTube because YouTube will put ads on the videos and that's just an extra stream of income for your expertise. And guys was not tapping into every area because some men say, oh, that ain't my space. That ain't my space. No, every space my space. Every space my space. Lord, enlarge my territory. I called my homeboy and I sung a reference for a song. Now, I'm going to give him the royalties on that song, but song number 2, song number 3, all right, that's going to have to come to me now. That's going to have to come to me now. I'll pay you what you need, to sing it for me now, but I'm going to have to get me a piece of that residual. Yeah, I'm in the music space. When you go on iTunes and you type Tony Gaskins, you're going to see audio recorded and you're going to hear spoken word, my album called Greatness. Yeah, I'm in every space my space because the Lord has enlarged my territory. My Father, my Heavenly Father, owns cattle on a many hills, 1,000 cattle on a many hills. So everything my space, everything is put here for my good. Everything is working together for my good so that my wife could be taken care of on the level that Christ allows me to take care of. My homeboy that I spoke to in his rookie class at NBA, Damian Lillard, he got a little slogan, say something on the levels the Lord allows. A little slow, and I'm adopting that. I'm gonna do what I got to do on the level that the Lord allow. So it's like this, like when you see me walk through my house and you see that Hermes pillow, my wife, she liked the brand Hermes. That pillow, it costs. But if I am able to afford that pillow instead of this, now it don't cost the same as this pillow, okay? But I ain't all crazy about fashion. So this pillow here, this in my office, all right? I'm all right with this pillow. My wife, she like Hermes pillows. So I might have got this right here for, I don't know, $20. It could have been $100, I don't know. But I'm all right with that. If my wife like Hermes pillows and I can afford an Hermes pillow, it don't matter if it costs $900 if I'm able to afford it right then, I'm going to get her, I'm going to love her on the level that the Lord allows. And see, I'm not finna budget her. I'm not finna budget her. I was about to do me a shirt one time, not a shirt, but I was about to do me a little gag gift. Not a gag gift. I was gonna find the word budget in every language, all the most popular languages, and put it on a shirt or something, because I started to realize early on in my life, my wife do not speak the word budget. And what I mean by that is she wasn't with that financial plan or putting that money in the envelope. She was like, I'm not finna be in a grocery store pulling money out no envelope. What you mean I can't swipe the debit card? And it didn't make sense to her. She was like, the money on the debit card, why I got to go to the bank, take out cash, risk losing the cash? And sure enough, she lost $1,000. She lost $400 one time, $600 another time. Because she moving so fast. Sometimes when you have mom brain, you moving so fast, you put stuff you don't know where it's at, boop, 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 what have you. Somebody, went in the car and got the money out or something. And so she lost the cash. And so she like, I lose the debit card, I can call right then and cancel it. I lose the cash, that cash gone. So listen, Tony, you can't just be listening to some financial teacher online who got his methods from 25 years ago and still teaching it. They don't make sense to me. So I realized I had to understand my wife and get to her level to love her the way she need to be loved and speak the language that she speaks instead of loving the way I want to love her. Instead of just doing what I want to do, I got to hear and respect her mind. And I got to say, okay, having an envelope system may make sense to me. It may make sense to this woman over here, but that woman ain't my woman. My woman she's a math whiz. So she can budget her money and manage her money on her debit card. So if she want to use the debit card, I'm going to let her use the debit card instead of forcing my will and say, we going to do this. Now, yes, according to the Bible, she should submit to me as unto the Lord. But that is balanced out when it says, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. So although she submits to me, if it's something I'm serious about, something I'm head bent on, she going to submit and she going to follow my lead. But a part of being a man is I have to understand that a leader is not a dictator. So I hear her mind and I hear her side of it. And if it makes sense, which it 9 out of 10 times gonna make sense, or if she's passionate about it or she feels strongly about it, it's my job as the head of the household to respect her and to hear her and not to be a dictator and try to dominate. And that's what a lot of men do wrong, is you think just because you the head and the Bible says submit unto your husband as unto the Lord, you think that all of a sudden now you just get to put your foot on her neck. No, that ain't how it works being a man. So as a man, you have to understand that your strength is your gentleness. And what that means is that's your emotional intelligence. That's the way you lead. And you lead not through dictatorship, but you lead through service. And you lead in love. So you set the example in your home of how you want love to be, meaning you show her the love. And if you married right, if you got a good woman, when you love her, she's going to find a way to reciprocate in a way that speaks your love language. Might not be the way that she would do it or the way she want to do it. She going to do it the way you need to be loved. And that is how it works when you are a man and you leading positively with healthy and positive leadership and you loving her. You set the bar, you set the standard, she sees your lead, and then she is able to submit to you in the sense of, don't think of submission in the definition of like a slave. What submission is not weakness. Submission takes strength. So we submit one to another. So, and that's what you have to understand, which I don't know if that submit one to another. Ephesians 5 and 21, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. Now see, that comes right before wives submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. 23, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Now, see, that's so strong, and if you want to abuse that and you want to use that, woo, you could use that. But right after that, it say, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Woo! How did Christ give himself for the church? That was a sacrifice. So what that takes and does is it levels out the scriptures that come right before it, which those scriptures was right after verse 21 that says, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. Now see, a lot of times we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear about submitting yourselves one to another. We don't want to hear that. That ain't what we want to hear. That ain't what we want to hear. But you see how it says that? Then it goes on to say, this is what this means. Submitting yourselves one to another. It's saying, wives, you submit unto your husband as unto the Lord. But then it say, husbands, you are submitting unto your wife by loving her as Christ loved the church. So that brings balance in the household. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Now, it say, husband, love your wife, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. And that's why I always say, wash your wife in love. Wash her with love. I want to love above and beyond. I want the love to be so strong that it permeates every fiber of her being, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. I want her to feel the love in every area. And every area, okay? That he might present it to himself, a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church. All right now. You hear me? For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. This is a great mystery. Woo! You see what it say? Verse 32, this is a great mystery. See, a lot of times we want to just skim over stuff. That's why I'm on here every day, because love is a great mystery. But I speak concerning Christ and the church. Now you see here how he tied in and he leveled this together. And lastly, it says, nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. Now see, you cussing your husband out, you in sin. You making your husband look dumb, you in sin. You disrespecting your husband, you in sin. You belittling your husband, you in sin. You condescending toward your husband, you in sin. But equally As a man, if you're doing any of those things to your wife, you in sin. So guess what? All of this work together. So you may not steal, you may not kill, you may not lie, you may not backbite, you may not gossip, you may not adulterate, you may not envy, you may not do any of these other things, you may not break any of the commandments. But that right there, if you don't keep Ephesians 5, every blessing that had your name on it gotta sit still. It can't come. It can't come because you out of line. You not in sync with God. You not aligned for your blessing. And that's why I try to help men understand that you have to learn how to love your wife. Because where other is there a comparison for a man in the Bible that compares Christ to the church? The love of Christ for the church. Where other do you see a comparison like that for a man? So see, men were focused on the parable of the talents and multiplying their money, but they don't focus on that right there. Men want to focus on wives submitting unto your husband, but ignore the parallel that is drawn between Jesus and the church. And that's what I try to tell you. So when you see my wife designer down, that's because that's the level the Lord has allowed. You hear me? I'm not finna put her in no bargain clothes if I can afford a finer material, a finer leather, a finer pillow. You hear me? I'm not finna give her less than in the name of budget. If God has said your income is here and this is what you can afford. Because when you read your Bible and you see how God these scripts, how they should create their clothes and their robes and how they should build the temples. Where do you see God skimp? Where do you see him take a bargain when a bargain ain't needed? Where do you see? Now, it was a bargain needed when he needed to turn the 2 fish and a loaf of bread in to feed the multitude. It was a bargain needed when they needed to spread the oil. It was a bargain needed when Jesus had to turn the water into wine. But see, when ain't no bargain needed, when the Lord done bless you, the way you got the faculties, you got time that you could give your wife. You got a mouth, or you got communication skills if you do sign language, that you can give words of affirmation to your wife. You hear me? You got quality time. You got physical touch. If you got a hand, you got physical touch. If you got a nub, you can rub it with that nub. But see, you got physical touch. You got quality time. All right, you got acts of service. So when you take to get a car wash, when you take and you vacuum, when you take and you do the dishes, when you take and you do something that's serving her, an act of service, that's also giving her a massage. And that's physical touch. That's 2 in 1. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? My wife, she always crinked up and stuff with her neck and just posture and all of that. And you know what tore her posture up? A mean, nasty woman. When she was in middle school, told her, stop poking your chest out trying to show your breasts. But she was just sitting with posture because that's how she was taught. But when the young lady said that, she went like this, and now she slouched the rest of her life. That's right there, women hate. When I was just telling y'all, I posted that right there on my store, on the video, on my Instagram. A lady going in the comments. Well, it's not a surprise now if you posted it. Duh, idiot. She done already seen it. But when I looked at the lady post, my wife, when I said what the lady read, my wife got mad. She went and responded to her, and she told her about herself, but she kept it classy. You'll see it on my Instagram. And when I looked at the lady post, when I looked at her page, I said, she got a bitterness in her that ain't got nothing to do with my wife. That ain't got nothing to do with my wife. Instead of her commenting like everybody else, oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's cute. Well, it's not a surprise now. Duh. If I'm posting it, she done already seen it, woman. You know my wife follow me. But you see what I'm saying? It's the nastiness, the nasty spirit. The way women hate on women. Jealous of other women that got to comment something that's meaningless, don't even mean nothing. And that's why my wife's slouching. So you know what I took and did? I bought a chair on the level that the Lord allowed. Before I could afford it, I use my hands. But my hands get weak, they get brittle. I'm not a massage therapist, so my hands is not strong enough to do the whole hour massage. And it hurts. But I bought a chair that's called Human Touch. And that chair cost me now. But that thing feels so good. My wife get in that chair, it put her to sleep. Do you hear me? And it got zero gravity. It'll lift her up in the air and have her float and massaging her. It do what I can't do. But as a man, that's what your job. You can't be in it and everything. You ain't going to be able to be everything. So because I'm not no event planner and I can't do everything, but I want my wife to feel adorned like a queen, I got personal shoppers that's texting me right now because I don't know everything in fashion and what's all coming out. So I got personal shoppers that send me, hey, this just came out. Do you want to get this? And I tell them, no, I'm on a budget right now. No, I'm spent out right now. No, I ain't got it for you right now. Or yes, I can afford it. Go ahead, charge my card. Send it on to me. You see what I'm saying? I got that chair for her because my hands is little. I got my mama hands. And don't y'all get caught up about what hand and all that mean, but just my mama got little hands and little feet, so I got that. But my wife will let you know that what they talk about the size of the hand ain't true. And so y'all mind your business, touch your nose. Touch your nose. And so I got her that chair because my hands ain't got all the strength. I was telling her yesterday, I said, baby, I wish I had a hand the size of Shaquille O'Neal hand so I could just grab that whole booty cheek when I get ready to grab me some booty. I want to be able to grab from the socket of your hip right there to your booty crack. And just the whole thing. And she was like, oh, boy, please stop. But I was serious. I want to get my whole hand full, but my hand ain't big enough. So what I got for that chair, massage everything. Because it's a level the Lord allowed. You hear me? And so that's why as men, we have to set our sights to pleasing our wife and loving her. You hear what it say? That Christ present the church blemish and spot free without a wrinkle. Now, when it said that, it got me thinking about Botox. I'm like, Lord, you telling me to pay for Botox for my wife? Of course, it ain't necessarily talking about that, but you know, we misinterpret the word all the time anyway. So it's like, might as well mean get some collagen or Botox or facials or something. Yeah, pay for facials. Anybody new to this video, I understand. Well, Tony, what that mean? Listen, this ain't theology school. You ain't smart. You ain't smart. Stop trying to be theologian, all right? We understand what it's talking about, but what I surmise from this is that as a husband, you're supposed to love your wife on a sacrificial level, the way Christ loved the church, and you're supposed to want to present her blemish and spot free. So when somebody see her, they need to see her glow. They need to see her peace and happiness. They need to see that she is adorned like a queen on whatever level the Lord has allowed. So whatever that mean, if that mean she need to have the nicest that your money can buy. You ain't got to go all into debt and all that like I have done, because borrow becomes servant to the lender. The Bible says you got to be a good steward over your money. So don't throw bad money after good money. But you shouldn't be budgeting and thrift shopping your wife when you could do better. You shouldn't be making her go without. You shouldn't have your kids going to school in the hood, getting beat up and cussed out if you can afford to live in a different district or to drive to a different district or to be put in a better school where the children in that area are having better parents raise them versus being in an area where the parents cannot raise their kids if you somebody that's raising your kids. Now, if everybody can't raise their kids in that area, then everything is new and nothing is shocking to them. Everybody used to getting cussed out by a 6-year-old. If that's the case, and if that's the season that God got you in, okay, do you want to stay there? Because if you don't want to stay there, there's other level. There's other levels. But you got to pray, ask God to do that for you. And he could do that for you. You see, because I was there. We was there when my son had to go to them kind of schools. and get cussed out and all this right here. And then he come home doing that to us. Oh, no, sir. No, sir. Baby, put him in a better school. All right. I'll pay what it's going to cost. Put him in a better daycare. He was in daycare at the time. Put him in a better daycare because this boy be lost his teeth doing that to me. And so we did that. So wherever you at as a man, don't look at where I'm at. Because there's men who way further than where I'm at now. I saw a man everywhere he go, he fly private with his wife. This woman got purses that cost $200,000. You hear me? But he got that kind of money. So that $200,000 purse that she got, that's like me spending $200 on a purse. So if 200 is in my budget, I can't get mad at him because 200,000 is in his budget. I can't say, oh, that's ridiculous, that's stupid. I'll never get that for my wife. Because guess what? Let the Lord allow it. Let the Lord, hey, y'all let me know if you need me, brother. Let me know if you need me. Let the Lord allow it. If the Lord allow that, that's what she gonna have. You hear me? Now, if he don't allow it, if I ain't there, she gonna have what he done allow. But I'm not gonna budget my wife. So let the Lord make me a billionaire. You gonna see my wife with a $200,000 purse. Because if they making it, somebody got to buy it. And if I can afford it, then I'm gonna do that. Oh, you ought to know that, man. Don't. If I'm doing that, that means I'm already donated. More than enough. But I'm not finna take what belongs to my wife and donate it. Because that's my first ministry. That's my first. That's who I'm her donor. That's who I take care of her first. So I got to take care of her first before I take care of the third world country. Then that's going to be in there. Okay, boom. This going to the third world country. This going to the orphanage. This going to this right here. But this going to you. You hear me? So, listen. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. Because when your husband get to that level, you're going to be telling him, no, don't buy me that purse. Absolutely not. I will carry my wallet and lipstick and lip gloss and nail clippers and makeup and phone charger and phone in my hand. Keep that purse and give that purse to the orphanage. See, that's the thing. We always got something to say about how another person getting treated. I be seeing women, all that ain't necessary. When you get you a husband, then you decide what's necessary and ain't necessary. But for the men out here that's going to see this here video, put your wife on the level and love her on the level emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, and financially, and socially on the level she need to be on. So you see right here in this day right here, I'ma love her physically, hugging her, kissing her, doing what a married couple do. We were just hugging and kissing before she left. That's physical love, all right? These here gifts, that's financial love. But that's also emotional love. When she got dressed, I said, ooh, baby, that look good. Now, I like that outfit. You looking good in that outfit. All right, that's emotional love. That verbal. That's verbal. That's words of affirmation. Okay, and she out to lunch with her friends. See, that's social love. She have a social life. I'm not saying, no, you can't go out with her. I don't like when you hang out with her. Why you got to go out to lunch with your friend in the middle of this here COVID and that ain't in the budget? That's how a lot of men do. No, that's how I used to do. In the first year or two, that's what I used to do. But see, I had to learn. You got to love on every level. Got to love on every level. Hey, my brother, you need me? You good? Okay. You got to love on every level. And when you do that, then guess what? Now she elevate. So now she looking on how she gonna love you. Now she looking at, okay, what do I need to do? Babe, what you want for Valentine's? Listen. I got the money to buy what I need, so I really don't need no gift. Need my little lingerie. A little lingerie. That might what is in that Victoria's Secret bag I seen come in the other day. I said, listen here, baby, I don't need no gift. That ain't my love language. You hear me? need a little something else. You see what I'm saying? So now she's looking, how do I love you? Because see, this right here, all that right there, what means something to me, that don't mean nothing to her. That don't mean nothing to her. If I was impotent, it won't mean nothing to my wife. Honest to goodness would not mean nothing to my wife. Now, for some of y'all nymphos and little nasties being the oh, well, I want it just as bad as a man want it. A woman want it just as bad. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, because that's not my woman. That is not my woman. She's not like that. She is not like that. You know why? Because she wasn't exposed to that at no young age. So that is a plus. That's not a priority for her. So I had to adapt to that, to understand that their love making is a plus, not a priority. But in order for me, if that means something for me, I got to understand what means something for her. That's the quality time, that words of affirmation, the physical touch, the gifts, not necessarily gifts speaking monetary, but the thought that I'm thinking about her, that means something to her. So then that put her mind and her body in a place to where she want to be all the way mine, to where I can have her. But see, I have to make love to her mind before I can make love to her body. And that's what we have to understand as men. This not no robot. This ain't no machine that you just hit a button on, that you think you finna come lick on the ear. You licking on the ear, the wind catching that slog, the slog coming to her nose, and your lick stink. Your lick stink. So now you think you turning her on, doing all that, and she got to breathe out her mouth. Because the lick stink and you trying to turn her on. But if you would have washed them dishes, if you would have vacuumed that floor, if you would have massaged her shoulder for a little bit, you would have came home with a rose, you would have thought ahead about Valentine's and did something for that Valentine, surprise her. Okay, now you ain't even got the liquor. Now you go brush your teeth, put some mouthwash in. All right, now that lick don't stink. Okay, now you presenting yourself. But see, now you done titillated her senses. Now you done made love to her mind in more ways than one. You ain't just trying to come turn her on like old robot battery with a battery in the back. You see what I mean? And this is the space that we have to go to as men. We got to get to a place of selflessness instead of selfishness. You don't want no peach cobbler, but you want her singing karaoke. But you don't want to eat no peach cobbler. But you won't carry, y'all forgive me now. I ain't even mean to go. But it's a lot of men that's on that. And then it's like, boy, you ain't even bays. Boy, you ain't even bays. And you want that woman. What? Man, come on now. Got that woman down there on that terrible stick. It all kind of, she about to throw up. Because you ain't even fresh out no shower. But you think you a rapper. You trying to act like the rappers. Oh, yeah. Come on over here. And you treating her like she a $2. Like she a $2 on the street corner. No, you got to cater. You got to love. You got to sacrifice. You got to make love to her mind. You got to speak her love language. You got to go all out every way that you can. Then, because you the man. So you the leader. You the head. The head got to see. The head got to have foresight. You see what I'm saying? The head got to have foresight. The head got to see the way, got to see the vision. The head got to lead. So the head got to lead through service. The head got to lead in love, not dictatorship. So listen, if you're a woman watching this and you got this point, this ain't even for you. So y'all ladies, please stop. When I do a video for the man, try y'all best not to hog up the comment section. And if you're a man and you watching this, I'm not here to argue with you. I ain't here to argue with you. You don't want to do all this. You don't want to do none of this. Go right ahead. Live your life, playboy. Live your life. But when I'm telling you, this right here has changed my life because of the mental state it put me in and the level it put me on emotionally. that it affected everything in my life. Finances, everything. Because when you go into that place of selflessness, that place of servanthood, that place of leadership through service and love, God favors that. He favors that when you're not competing with your woman, when you loving her and you not keeping score. You hear me? I'm telling you, try it and see. But try it with a glad heart. Service with a smile. Don't do it begrudgingly. God loves a cheerful giver. You hear me? And that woman is your first ministry. I'm trying to tell you now. Now, if you're a man and you listen to this, y'all can show up in the comments on the videos for the men instead of just watching it. Because then the women be like, oh my goodness, this video is for men. And I don't see a single man in these comments. Men, for one, a lot of men just watching, they just don't comment. A lot of men don't want to, say that they got confirmation or got revelation. It's just male ego sometimes. But I'm here to tell y'all, ladies, that the men watch the videos as much as y'all watch them. And they probably watch them more than you watch them. And they watch it just as long as you watch them. When they get to them, the men that's on here watching, they watch. Because they want to learn, they want to grow, they want to hear, they want to know what's going on in the woman stratosphere. And y'all talks with Tony Level, they listen. But it's just not in a man's nature to be all in the comments, kikiing and chitter-chatting. And so y'all got to understand that y'all don't hog up all the comments and on these videos, don't beat down. Don't beat down on the men. Don't talk down to the men. You ain't got to, just like we don't want to beat down when I tell y'all when I'm writing about a woman and I have to go in and I have to be hard and I got to share a real life situation. I tell y'all, comment respectfully. Don't beat the person down, Don't call them sorry and stupid, If I say something to that effect, they come on my page to hear what I got to say. So I've built a rapport with them because I'm giving them so many videos. So they're going to receive it differently than they'll receive out the mouth sideways comment in the comment section from somebody that they don't know, they don't trust in, they not coming to hear from. So y'all understand that and comment respectfully, okay? And I blocked that sister on my Instagram, but something in my heart said, don't block her. Don't block her. She just being ignorant. Because it's like, man, don't come in here trying to state the obvious. Don't come in here, it's like, come on, man. That's just hateration. You know good and well, it's a surprise for the queen. That means I surprised her. That don't mean that it's still a surprise to her. And I'm like, come on now. Why we got to have our heart in a bitter space like that? Like, come on now. We got to do better. That's why you can't attract no husband, because you bitter. You look bitter. So when the man see you, you look like a Sour Patch Kid. It's like, but if you could be happy for another woman and what's going on in her life and how her husband loving her, that's when God can deliver your husband. That's because your husband coming. But God can't bless you if you jealous of somebody else, if you hating on somebody else, if you trying to be ignorant. God can't bless that. You know what I'm saying? We got to fix our heart posture. So this video here touched on everything. I got to go though. God bless you. Today is my day off. The first 7 sections of the YouTube for Beginners course has released. So if you in the course, you already signed up, you can start going through it. I'm going to roll out the other sections over next week, just so I want you to take your time going through it. Don't rush. And so the link is in the description for that course at this price. Tomorrow, that price changes. At midnight tonight, that price changes, and it'll be double the price. So if you have any aspirations to get on the here tube, and when you go in there, I share what I was paid from YouTube last year, so you get to see that, it can turn into something. It ain't just smoke and mirror and pipe dreams. It can turn into something. You could use your gift, and work from home. If you diligent and faithful enough, that's what the Lord has for you. Ain't no promises. Hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.